Pop star Sabrina Carpenter has filed a restraining order against an alleged stalker who showed up at her home. Steve Patterson is following this story out of LA. And Steve, I know there's some images too that have been put out there.
There have been, yeah, a lot of this just coming into our newsroom, as mentioned, Tom, including the fact that a judge granting a temporary restraining order to Sabrina Carpenter, the pop singer, against 31-year-old William Applegate. This is the guy, allegedly, that you're going to see on your screen in this doorbell camera. That's because he is accused of, on May 23rd, going to the pop singer's home trespassing through a neighbor's yard, trying to go in through the front door, allegedly grabbing the door handle, forcefully trying to go inside of her home. Then a security team comes out, confronts the man. Applegate says that he presents himself like he knows Carpenter, that he is going to meet her. They try to turn him away forcefully, but he won't leave the premises until the police are called. He's then escorted off the property, comes back the next day on May 24th, where the same pattern emerges. He's confronted by that security team, leaves the premises, then comes back even again the next day on the 25th, where he's then escorted away by police once again. We're reading some of these documents. One says that according to Carpenter, the approach was deliberate, calculated, aggressive, which is deeply alarming. Another excerpt says that she is in genuine fear for her personal safety at the time of the incident and continues to fear for her safety to this day. Again, that temporary restraining order was granted. There will be another hearing to find out if that restraining order, which is temporary, will be made permanent.
For celebrities, this nightmare is often a scary reality. Fame brings attention, admiration, and success, but sometimes it attracts obsession. Recently, singer and actress Sabrina Carpenter sought legal protection from an alleged stalker after claiming a man repeatedly appeared at her residence. The case has sparked conversations not only about celebrity safety, but also about a larger social issue affecting millions of people today. And while loneliness does not cause stalking, experts have increasingly raised concerns about how mental illness, isolation, and deteriorating social connections can contribute to unhealthy behavior in some individuals. Today, we're taking a closer look at the allegations, the psychology behind celebrity obsession, and what this story may reveal about a society struggling with connection. The court filings reportedly describe multiple visits over a short period of time and state that Carpenter had never met with the individual in question. The alleged incidents were serious enough that legal action was pursued to establish a protective barrier between the singer and the man. As with any ongoing legal matter, it's important to remember that allegations are allegations. Courts ultimately determine legal findings, and the accused is entitled to due process. Cases like this often raise an uncomfortable question: what causes a stranger to become fixated on someone they've never met before? One of the strangest aspects of modern celebrity culture is that fans can feel like they know a celebrity personally. They hear them speak in interviews, watch them on social media, and follow their lives online daily. Over time, a one-sided emotional attachment can develop. Psychologists often refer to these as parasocial relationships. The celebrity doesn't even know the fan exists, but the fan may feel a strong emotional connection to them. For most people, this remains harmless. People admire athletes, actors, musicians, and internet creators every day without crossing boundaries. But in rare cases, admiration can evolve into unchecked obsession. The individual begins imagining a relationship that doesn't exist. Fantasy starts replacing reality, and eventually, some attempt to force contact in real life. This is where a much broader issue enters the conversation. Over the last decade, researchers have documented increasing levels of loneliness among young men specifically. Many men report having fewer close friendships and relationships than previous generations. Some report never receiving emotional support or physical intimacy from women. Others struggle with complete social isolation. Loneliness itself does not make someone dangerous. Millions of lonely people never harm or harass anyone. However, prolonged isolation can sometimes magnify existing mental health struggles, distort perceptions, and intensify unhealthy fixations. When someone spends years from meaningful relationships, fantasy can become more appealing than reality. A celebrity may appear safer than real-world interaction. Unlike an actual relationship, there's no risk of rejection because the relationship exists entirely in the person's imagination. The celebrity crush now lives rent-free in the head of the stalker. That's one reason why experts caution against replacing genuine human connection with online substitutes. Most individuals want companionship. They go to work. They go home. They try to improve their lives. But a small percentage, instead of building real relationships, they become consumed by fantasy. The object of that fantasy could be a celebrity, a streamer, a social media influencer, a co-worker, or maybe an ex-partner. Over time, repeated exposure can create a false sense of intimacy. The individual may convince themselves that they have a special connection with someone who has never even met them. At that point, normal boundaries begin to disappear. The behavior can escalate from online activity to attempts at physical contact. That's why law enforcement and security experts take stalking allegations so seriously. The danger isn't necessarily where the behavior begins, it's where it could eventually end. For celebrities, these situations create a unique challenge. Success depends on public visibility. Artists are encouraged to share their lives with fans. Social media rewards accessibility. The entertainment industry often encourages celebrities to appear relatable and approachable. Yet that same visibility can expose them to unwanted attention. A singer posting a simple photo may reach millions of people. Most will scroll past it. A few may become emotionally invested, and an extremely small number may develop dangerous fixations. It's a problem that has affected countless public figures over the years. Regardless of gender, age, or profession, the Sabrina Carpenter case is ultimately about more than one celebrity and one alleged stalker. It highlights a growing tension in modern life. People are more connected digitally than ever before, yet many report feeling more isolated than previous generations. Social media can create the appearance of intimacy without providing the substance of real relationships with physical encounters. Followers become numbers. Messages replace conversations. Screens replace communities. And for some individuals already struggling with loneliness, that environment can become fertile ground for unhealthy obsessions. Again, loneliness itself is not the cause of stalking. Most lonely people never engage in criminal or harassing behavior, but loneliness combined with obsession, poor boundaries, and untreated mental health issues can create a dangerous combination. As the legal process unfolds, the allegations surrounding Sabrina Carpenter's alleged stalker will continue to receive public attention. But beyond the headlines lies a deeper question. What happens when millions of people feel disconnected from one another? For most, loneliness becomes a painful but manageable part of life. For others, it can become something darker when fantasy begins replacing reality. Celebrity stalking cases serve as reminders that admiration must always have boundaries. No matter how famous someone is, they remain a human being that deserves privacy, safety, and their peace of mind. And perhaps the larger lesson in this is, the answer to loneliness has never been obsession. It has always been connection, the kind that exists in the real world, not just on the screen. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, I'm John Berry, and I'll see you later.